If you've ever had this feeling,
Saying welcome to today's show. I wanted to cover this because you're going to get a kick out of it in regards to what's going on over in Ukraine. And you would think normally how at least we would view war going, right? One military versus another. And of course, we have this narrative now with civilians and with the president on the streets, of course, being set up to be a martyr, which I'll cover in another video because it's beyond blatantly obvious what the elite are doing here. But you would think, hey, how do we strategize to win this war? What do we do? Well, here's the newest strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Cancel culture. That's right. Cancel culture. That's how unbelievable our society has become and how stupid that they're literally trying to cancel Russia. I kid you not. Now, this, of course, plays right into the New World Order's hands for lots of reasons. Because remember, by canceling Russia will cancel you back like two little girls playing. And this will be done, of course, right from our buddy Klaus Schwab and the rest of the people pulling the strings, because this is the new way of canceling things and resetting them. So you might be saying, Cole, what are you talking about? Canceling? Wouldn't it be great if we could just cancel it? Oh, no, they're not canceling the actual war. They're canceling out Russia from, being able to participate in things. Let's start here. Meta and YouTube have blocked Russian state media from monetizing on its platform. Sound familiar? So now cancel culture has hit Russia, as Russia can no longer use YouTube and monetize on it. YouTube said Saturday it will temporarily halt the ability of a number of Russian channels, including state-sponsored RT, to monetize their content on the platform. It will also be significantly limiting recommendations of those channels, YouTube said in a statement. Then we have Russian vodka. That's right, Russian vodka, because it all ties in together. Being pulled from shelves in the US and Canada and liquor stores. Every small thing makes a difference, the article says. The New York Post. You can't make it up, right? So this is the mindset of these zombie imbeciles. Now, one of the things to remember with the World Economic Forum is the destruction of capitalism. I have a video clip. I'm not sure if I'll insert it here or not because I have to look for it. But Klaus Schwab talks about, just to sum it up and spare you from his voice, he talks about the limitations of capitalism and the issues with capitalism, and talks about why it needs to be reset, why capitalism needs to go. Now, the liberals want capitalism to go because the majority of them are useless and want to be coddled and babied, and they're jealous that other people could be successful. So they don't find any shame or harm in canceling people, even if it means them losing their jobs. Where normal people think that people deserve to make a living no matter what their opinions are on certain topics. So this plays in perfectly with the Great Reset because they want people canceled. They want people to lose their jobs. One of the topics always of the World Economic Forum is jobs and how humans are going to be losing jobs to machines. People are going to be losing more and more jobs in general. Of course, that ties in with the other thing that they just created and the amount of jobs that we lost, businesses being shut down. And now we have with the war perfectly them using cancel culture to cancel all Russian things. So now, these citizens of Russia who really have nothing to do with it, right? Like if something happened here with our incompetent government, which is just a charade anyway, because really it is a one world government at this point. I mean, who are we kidding? They're all working together, just like you see the president of Ukraine working with Putin right now. But what do the civilians have to do with Big Brother as far as their government is concerned, right? So you take it out on the citizens, the soccer teams, right? Refusing to play one another, sporting events being canceled, them urging events to be canceled. The IOC urges sports bodies to cancel events in Russia, to protest the events in Russia because what their government's doing. So they're saying, look, by doing this, we're going to say, look, we're going to cancel you, Russia. You're not allowed to play with anyone anymore on the playground. Russia controls a lot of resources that a lot of countries need, right? Including oil. So this is why it's so convenient for the New World Order. By doing this and doing these stupid things and freezing bank accounts, which seems to be the new trend. It used to be, hey, we're going to war, we're going to send a tank over. Now we're going to freeze your bank accounts, right? We just saw Canada do it with, World Economic Forum puppet Trudeau. Oh, we're going to freeze people's bank accounts. Now we're freezing Putin's bank accounts. Are you joking me? This is the strategy so that they can come back and they can say, we're not going to give you any oil or any energy, and we're also going to cyber attack you and have your whole power grid shut off. This is what all of us have been warning everyone about for years. And now it's here. This is the way they can do it finally. Before it was like, well, how would they go about doing this? We all kind of looked at Russia and the cyber attacks and being able to shut the power grid down. But how would we get there, especially with Trump in office? It was like, eh. And then when, Biden came in, it was like, okay. But they weren't talking about any of the conflict as much with Ukraine because everything was about the one-niner. Well, now, just out of the blue, they've shifted that way. They did their little salsa dance towards Russia. And now the cyber attack's in full threat. The grid is in full threat. The situation with the gases and inflation is not going anywhere. And it's not just about inflation. It's going to be about a limited amount of gas. So people were like, of course you feel for people who can't afford gas or whatever, but it's just part of the game here. But there's not going to be gas, right? So people who are even expecting the power grid to go off and are like, well, I have a generator and, I have a gas generator. You're not going to have gas to do that. So doing these tactics, which people are like, yeah, we're going to cancel Russia. All the celebrities are on board. They're like tweeting about canceling Russia. Oh, we're not going to show up for their soccer match. Poland refusing to play Russia in the World Cup playoff game. Who cares? If there's a war going on, this is the way the society we live in now wants to handle it. Cancel their YouTube channel. This is insanity, really. What are we going to do here in America? Oh, if this was real, I'm saying. And I'm not saying that there's not casualties and things like that. I'm saying if this was real and if this wasn't what the New World Order had planned, if there was really we were an independent country, all of us, all just countries and trying to keep peace, right? What would we do? Oh, okay, well, we would intervene and stop them and make them push back and be afraid to go and invade Ukraine because the big bad United States was lurking over the shoulder. That's what you would normally do. But this isn't a normal world. The game of Risk, imagine playing the game of Risk, the board game, and you're going to conquer someone's land. They're like, wait a minute, I just canceled your right to free speech. Is your little thing you use in the game, your plastic toy, is it green? We canceled green here. You can't come on our land. Huh? Well, that's how they're playing war. So instead of playing it, they're like, we're not going to put human civilians at stake here. We're going to cancel because then it'll filter more into society. This will be more of the routine and more normal and more normal and more normal. Cancel people's funds. Cancel people's incomes, right? And that's what they want done. Because the Great Reset has to do with bankrupting everyone. So we're going to attempt to bankrupt Russia, which is not going to happen. And what's really going to happen is it's going to bankrupt America, and all the other countries are going to be affected. And that's what they want, because they aren't going to get a Great Reset without it. That's why I keep talking about Schwab being butt buddies with Putin, being butt buddies with the president of Ukraine, being butt buddies with Biden, being butt buddies with China big time. He's up there. He's got his big old schnoz up their rear end, because they're all doing this in compliance with each other. They're all in bed together. And now by doing this, by having this mindset of canceling, which sounds like lunacy to people with brains, it sounds like the stupidest thing. Why would Russia, so Russia's supposed to go, we're about to take over Ukraine, but wait, what was that? They're going to cancel, they're going to demonetize our YouTube channels. I'm not even making this up. They're going to demonetize all right, we're going to back off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're backing off. They're demonetizing our YouTube. I might as well be the president then of Russia, because I could give them advice and say, just make a new YouTube channel.